Baby, what's the matter? What's the matter? Come on, tell me. You're hungry? No problemo. Got just the thing for you. How about this sandwich? There you go. But remember what I told you? Eat it nice and slowly like an adult would and enjoy your food. Oh baby, look at the mess you've made. But here, hold it again properly and just do it nice and slowly. Oh God, it's all over your chin. Oh, come on, let's take that out of the way. It's okay, baby. I've got a wipe. I'm going to give you a good old clean down now, aren't you? All right, baby. All right, calm down, calm down. It's just a wipe. I'm going to wipe your face. What's that you say? What is plastic? No, it's not plastic. Look, it's a bit of tissue. What's that you say? Don't argue with you. It's plastic. All right, calm down. What's that you say? But there's alternatives that are biodegradable and reusable. Well, that's okay then. I'll have to go down to the supermarket and see what they got. What's that you say? But be careful to look at the packaging because companies make it really confusing for parents to choose between plastic and biodegradable. Well, that's not very fair, is it? I'm going to have to go and look for myself. Well, let's get you cleaned up, put you down for a nap, and then off I'll go and see what I can find in the supermarket, eh? All right, let's go. I headed to the supermarket to see what I could find, and these were the two products I first looked at. Huggies. Now, believe it or not, these are actually two different products. If you look closely, yes, you can see they are, but I think if you were in a rush, you had your kids were nagging you, whatever, you could easily pick up the wrong one. They're actually sat next to each other in different boxes, and I had to look closely first to see which one was which. It's the white background, the red writing, the blue writing, all very similar. And the way you can tell the difference, as you can see, natural is written in gold writing at the top, and then 0% plastic wipes in the blue bar. But also in the non-natural, supposedly natural product, is the bottom right-hand corner. You got the blue and the red square, and that says plastic in product. So real poor marketing and packaging from these guys. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Again, Huggies, but I think they're really taking the Michael now. They've taken it to a new level. Green packaging, pictures of green plants, aloe vera in the description. Yeah, it is really selling the idea that these are completely natural. I'm sorry, but there's no two ways about that. And if you see in the bottom right-hand corner, again, you've got plastic in product. I mean, do you really need to add this difficulty to parents' lives? That they have all that to deal with, and then they've got to, if they want to do the right thing, they've then got to hunt through every package. This is the worst example. It's actually a mixed blend of plant fibers and plastic. Generally speaking, once you mix materials together, it makes it that much harder to recycle. These wouldn't be recycled, but they're going to break down, and you're going to end up with plastic in your compost heap. So yeah, real big no-no. Shame on them. Nil point. Pampers, no, why? You had me brainwashed my whole life, thinking you were the cutesy wootsy Andrex puppy advertising toilet paper. I thought you were the innocent ones, but no, you've done exactly the same. Plant fibres mixed with plastic in product. It's soft and gentle, clean for your baby, except for the plastic that we're producing unnecessarily when we could have biodegradable wipes or even make reusable ones. What's wrong with that? Why can't you get in that game? Anyway, I'm going to move on before I blow a gasket. Finally, we have Sainsbury's, which, kudos to them, they've actually done a really good job. You've got a nice, big, clear green label, not multiple labels, just one label, 0% plastic wipes. Would be nice if they'd put plant-based on there, whatever that means, in fact, but at least you would know it is plant-based. And then you've got it contrasting to the purple background. Good old Sainsbury's, probably a lot cheaper than the other brands, do exactly the same job. So yeah, unfortunately, this sort of malarkey is going on with multiple other brands in supermarkets across the country, and you're going to have to look very carefully if you want to make sure you definitely get 100% biodegradable wipes, which have their pluses and minuses anyway, and we'll discuss that in this next clip where we'll also be looking at reusable wipes. Okay guys, you've seen what's on the market. I've actually got a packet of the biodegradable ones here. Obviously I've not bought plastic ones. So these for all intents and purposes, are exactly the same as the plastic ones, probably the same size. They do the same job. They're fairly tough. But there is problems with them. I mean, in that sense, they're the same as plastic. They will clog the toilet. You should not be flushing these down the loo. They are not going to break down. They're biodegradable, just like biodegradable nappies, but they are very slow to break down. It's not like a banana skin. This is going to take years and years. And in fact, there's quite a, well, I don't know about funny, but there's a odd case of a guy who mounded them up in his compost bin in his back garden, expected them to break down, and he ended up creating a biohazard, and he had to get a company with specialist gear to remove it. So yeah, you've got to recognise that these things have to be what's known as hot composted. It's the same thing the council does. You know, you buy bags of compost back from the council, or you buy bags of compost from the supermarket, really cheap. That's all been recycled from the food waste that you put out for the council every week, but it has to be. They're trying to do it on a quick turnaround, so they don't leave it to naturally break down, they heat it. And that is exactly what you need for biodegradable materials like this. It has to be specially heated and biodegraded in a specialist facility. Who knows where they are? I'm sure you could take them a load of nappies and you'd have to pay them. You know, it's just something people are not going to do, and the council's not set up for it. So, for all intents and purposes, these are not biodegradable. If you bury them in landfill, which is what will happen, when they compress it down in the ground, air and moisture can't get to it like it would do in the open air, and they just don't break down. Well, they take decades probably. So, I mean, if you were going to choose between plastic and biodegradable, buy biodegradable. But the reason I am so keen on reusables, which we have here, is because they're super easy to use. Now, the nappies are not. Nappies are, well, a lot of parents give up, and I have certainly been close to that. Nappies are not easy, but, well, for some people they are, but not for me. But for the wipes, dead easy. So if you could do nothing else, if you literally do nothing else to save plastic and all this waste, get these. They're dead easy. So let's take a look at the reusable wipes that are available. This is just a selection of the main materials you're going to find. There is a couple of other variations on a theme, but this is essentially all you've got. So you've got microfiber, which is 80% polyester, 20% nylon. You've got 100% cotton. It's got this one's called a Zero Twist. It's the rainbow ones from Cheeky Wipes, a company called Cheeky Wipes, and you can see it's got slightly different knitting patterns on both sides. I think that's what the Zero Twist means. These ones are called Bamboo Plush, again from Cheeky Wipes, and they have bamboo viscose on one side and a polyester plush on the other. So I'm going to guess the polyester plush is the blue side because that's super soft, and this one is a bit rougher. These ones are called Minky. Again, these are the same, 100% bamboo viscose. Viscose is a material they extract, I believe, from the bamboo plant, so that's all that is. But bamboo on one side, polyester plush on the other. These are crazy soft. They feel like velvet. I'm not sure. I guess you would use these for if your child has very sensitive skin. These ones at the end here are Amazon ones. I got them off Amazon. I can't remember the name of the brand, but they are bamboo. They call them bamboo. They're exactly the same as the Cheeky Wipes ones, but they're actually only 70% bamboo, 30% cotton. So clearly they can't make the product they need out of 100% bamboo as they would have done, or the cotton adds something to it. Now, I want you to discount these ones straight away, and the reason is, I mean, I've been off the ball for many years. I kept thinking plastic pollution in the oceans, microplastics, was as a result of all the junk that we dump in the oceans, but a big part of that also comes from what we use in the house, and that could be toothbrushes, plastic brushes, clothing, you know, anything that's made of plastic. Most of our clothing is made from plastic, right? Nylon, polyester. Anything that we mechanically use, so a cloth for example, is going to release tiny little particles of plastic into our water supply. And I would say, you know, if you had nothing else, then I guess you have to use it. But there's great alternatives in this selection here. You don't need microfiber. The other problem about them is that because they're more rough and grabby, it's slightly harder to get rid of all the poo. That's the claim anyway from Cheeky Wipes. Even though they do sell microfiber, it's harder to wash them out and get all the dirt out. So another reason not to have them. And I say we've got plenty of other options. Now, out of these, I've preferred these by far. These ones, I say, way too soft for my needs. My child does not need anything super soft, hasn't got super sensitive skin, and they just smear everything around, especially when you're trying to clean up poo. These ones are the best by far. They've got just a grabby enough surface on one side and a smooth enough surface. So one side for face, you could obviously not at the same time, but you could sometimes use the smooth side for the face and the grabby side for the bum. The problem I have with these ones, the cotton and the bamboo, as nice as I like, I mean, these were more natural, right, than this one. This one's got polyester in it, don't forget. But they get so rough. Like they've softened up a bit because I've been handling them, but they come out like cardboard. I live in a hard water area, maybe that's something to do with it. But the main problem is I'm useless at washing. I've never used fabric softener in my life. I wouldn't even know what to get, and I don't even want to start getting involved with other, products and chemicals. I just like to keep it simple, chuck it in the washing machine, and it comes out. I bought these second hand, and they were as pristine as this when I bought them, and they still are now. I mean, that's saying something if I can keep them that clean. However, I did go back to Cheeky Wipes and say, how do I stop this from happening with these? And they suggested a couple of drops of your child's soap in the mix with the water. So they better explain about this kit. So this kit, I was quite reluctant to get one of these kits to begin with because I'm very sort of anti gimmicks. I feel like that. I know in the child world, or the baby world, there's a ton of companies set up, £1 billion industry, no doubt, to extract all your hard-earned cash for things that you don't necessarily need. And I thought this was one of them. But in hindsight, they're the only company that seems to have a kit system. It makes the whole thing easier. And as I said, reusable wipes, if you use this system, it's really easy, and you're doing a really good thing to save all that waste. So what you get is you get your clean box, your dirty box. I'm going to fill that up with water. It varies depending on the material, so you have to check that, but on average it's about 500 ml. So I've done the one on the right, 500 ml. Each box comes with its own little bottle of essential oils. Luckily they're color coded, so even idiots like me can't get it wrong. And then you're just going to put in 5 drops into each one. So this one is tea tree. I believe that one is, lavender and other sorts of things. Let's see, what is it? Lavender and chamomile. Yep. So you just put your 5 drops in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very roughly, and then you just, depending on, you'll have to look on the website how many cloths you can put in, and you just pop them in there, and they'll soak up all the moisture, and they'll just remain slightly damp. You can't leave them for more than a few days, otherwise they will start to stink. But hopefully you've used them up by then. So yeah, for about 50 quid, I just wish I'd done that to begin with. Just could have got all these. Now, what I'm going to do is just a little trial, because I know what I'm happy with, but I don't want to waste these ones. See if we can get some more life out of these. So let's just put that into the clean one. We're going to put a couple of drops of that, swirl it around, and then we're going to put our cloths in there and use them over the next few days and see what happens. So I'm just going to grab all of these, put them in there. I'll just turn them over, and it just soaks up all that moisture. So it's not swimming in water, it just soaks up all the moisture, and you've got a nice moist towel to use. And then when you're done with it, you just chuck it into your dirty box, and that's it, or in your dirty bag. So we'll give that a go over the next 2-3 days and report back. Hi guys, we're back. So we did the experiment, used them for a few days with the soap infused cotton and bamboo ones, the 2 on the right there. And I found, it did soften up a little bit, but didn't make the difference that I needed really. I still think the bamboo plush ones on the far left are far superior. Of course, they do have polyester in them, and I was making that point about microfiber breaking down the microplastics. But if it's going to make your life that much easier that you would use these wipes over disposables, then I would say any day of the week. And plus, of course, it's only half of it is made from plastic, the other half is bamboo. So a close second is probably going to be these ones, the 70% bamboo, 30% cotton, just because they are, although they go a bit rough, they're nowhere near as rough as these ones, and I haven't had any complaints from the child like these ones. So these are a close second. Those are the ones I prefer. These ones, like I say, super soft, but they are polyester as well, partly, but they're just so soft I'm not really sure what you would use them for. So those are my recommendations, guys. Definitely get the Cheeky Wipes kits, and yeah, save some plastic.